This session, I'll be explaining a repetitive structure. Let's understand what is repetitive structure. It refers to tables in SAP HR which exhibit uniform field structures. That means storing similar types of values. For example, if you see info type 8, there are fields like LGA01, LGA02, LGA03 for voice types and BET01, BET02, BET03 is for amount. As the arrangement of values in these columns are dynamic in nature, SAP recommends use of repetitive structure to read values from these tables. The repetitive structure fields change by the numeric digit at the end. You can see 01, 02, 03 like that. There are also other info types that are also repetitive structures. Info type 41, date specifications. Info type 25, appraisals. Info type 27, cost distributions. You can see fields similar with the numbers at the end 1, 2, 3 kind of you can see. So whenever you encounter repetitive structure in your programming, you need to program differently than the way we do for other tables. Let's see how to develop a program. Basically, to develop the program, we need to have three components in the program. One is declaration, another is fetch the data to the work area. Third thing is we need to use do varying statement. How we'll be doing the declaration? It should be the fields those are repeating. You need to have a field name for that which will help store the values while the fields are varying. For example, for info type 8, we had waste types and amounts were repeating. Like we had waste type LGA01 up to LGA02, 3, 4 up to LGA20 and BET01 is from 1 up to 20. So this LGA01 and BET01 are the fields those are varying. So we have created two fields to hold those varying values LGA and BET. Next comes the fetching of data. In this program that I'll be writing, I'll use LDB and macros. But you can use select queries or SAP HCM standard function models to retrieve data as well. Once the data is in the work area, we can use do varying statement to vary the fields from 1 up to as many numbers you want, those many times you need to iterate. You need to specify where to start and what is next and how many times you to vary. So this will iterate 20 times from LGA01 up to LGA20. To conclude, any program that you are going to write for repetitive structure, ensure you have a declaration having the fields that direct to the fields that will repeat. Have code to get the data from database to your work area and use do varying statement to write the program. Let's start writing the program. I'll go to transaction code SE38 and I can give the name of my program repetitive structure. You can create, give the title, the type of the program and the logical database you want to use. Let me give the title shared executable program. Then you give the name of the logical database. It is optional to use logical database, but it is recommended by SAP. The reports that we develop that use info types use logical database. So I'll be using logical database. When you use logical database, you no need to program for selection screens. Rather, you can choose one from the existing selection screens. In LDB, the selection screens comes from report category. Go to attributes, click on HR report category, and you can use any of these report category available. You can also press F4 and select any of this report category. So this helps to give one selection screen to your program without coding for it. Now, as I am developing the report program, I'll be writing all the events inside it. I wrote all the events that's required. Now, for the LDB specific program, I must use one statement that is called table statement. In this program, I will demonstrate the use of INFOTYPE 8 repetitive structure. So I also need to mention that INFOTYPE in INFOTYPE's keyword. These two statements are for LDB. So if you are using LDB, PNP, you must declare tables pernr and INFOTYPEs. Tables pernr ensures the data movement from screen to the program, seamless data movement. And INFOTYPE, the INFOTYPE that will participate in the data retrieval, we have to mention in INFOTYPE statement. Then let's go towards writing the program for repetitive structure. As I explained, for repetitive structure, we need three things. One is data declaration, second is data population, and that is do vary. Let me declare data for repetitive structure. One field that is for storing the varying values of OSTIs. This should store the varying values of the amount. Now I can have one work area. So the declaration part is over. Now I'll go for the data retrieval. If as I'm using LDB, so I'll be using get pernr event. So this event will keep iterating, keep looping all the employees based on what we give on the selection screen. If you give on selection screen 5 employee numbers, 10 employee numbers, so for all the employees, this get pernr will loop, pick one employee and populate INFOTYPE 8, then pick the second employee, populate the values from INFOTYPE 8. So this loop will keep continuing. Okay, and it will terminate with end of selection. So when we trigger get pernr, so the INFOTYPE values is populated into internal table P0008 with header line. So what I need to get, let me get the latest record. So to get the latest record, if you use above, you can sort by the end date and take the index one, first entry. But in ABAP HR, we use macros to do that, to get the latest record. So I'll use the macro rp provide from last. Info type, subtype, start date and end date. So this pn is pnp start date, pnp end date. Because the selection screen is developed by the logical database, we are not separately coding any parameter select option to show the screen. So the date that is specified in the screen is taken by logical database start date, logical database end date, that is pn-begda and pn-endda. So this macro helps to get the latest record from internal table p-0 to work area p-0. So we have the work area populated, that is p-0. Next is we need to write the code for repetitive structure. Do varying statement. So as many times you want to iterate, you can write 20 times, 30 times, whatever you want. Do 20 times. Varying you need to specify where to start. Start from LGA01. Next is LGA02. Keep moving LGA03, 4, 5 up to 20 times. Similarly, this is varying the waste types. We need to write also varying the amount field. Varying BT the do statement will end with end do. Now what happens? It keeps iterating 20 times. It can happen all the 20 fields may not have data. Few of the specific fields has data. So we need to check that whenever there is data, when there is some amount, only take those entries. How do we do that? With the if condition. If BT is amount is not initial, that means if you have some amount, only you take into account. Here I am showing a write statement to print the result, but you can use it to append in internal table, or if you want to do any other processing, that processing specific logic you can write it here. The specific voice type and specific amount. Hit enter, save, activate the program. Okay, activate the program. We can execute it. You can see the screen appeared. We can say as of today the value. We give an employee number. For example, I give the employee number 100. Execute. You can see this employee number 100, different wage types and the amounts. Let's validate. I'll go to transaction PA20 and I enter the employee number 100. I am checking the basic pay. It is info type 8. Press enter. Click on display to show that wage type, basic pay, wage type details. You can see 1000, 1010, 1070, and the corresponding amounts are 60,000, 10,000, and 4,000. Let me see the values: 60,000, 10,000, and 4,000. So this is how we can write a program for repetitive structure. Summary: you need to have the declaration, you need to populate the data to work area, and you need to use do varying statements for the repetitive structure to work. I'll be giving this full program code in the comment section. You can use it for your program development. Even in fact, I have also kept embedded that code in the slide itself. Thank you.